Okay, now we're started for reals. Let's go. Episode 4, Twisted Karma and His Last Bow. Yes. I don't know what that means, but we're starting a new episode. Episode 4. There's indeed a most bizarre incident born of a curious advertisement and commonplace killing at the edge of town.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog.
A lot. A lot.
Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder. An executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night.
Oh, we remember those.
And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant.
Well, most people don't know the details.
And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson.
To uncover the truth.
So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow.
Yes.
For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Is it, though? Eight days after that earth-shattering trial and Kazuma regaining his memory, yay! We were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. Okay, well, we're in the... It looks fancy. It's very big. Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment. Oh, Dad. Oh, I said that. Susato didn't say that. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time. Sorry, I'm blind. What? But Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. Yeah, her dad lied to her and also was like, we have to put a lid on anything involving this case. Truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Yeah, the killer man. In case anybody needs a quick recap, he was a mass murderer back in the day, and they put an iron mask on him so people couldn't see, because that would have caused a huge hubbub if, you know, a Japanese man was just murdering the heck out of English people and all that, so. Do you suppose my father knew? I would be surprised if he didn't. That he was actually the mass murderer? The professor, you mean? I knew that's what she's thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. I mean, and your dad's not stupid. In fact, the problem is he's a little bit too smart. Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. Yeah, it sounds like a really big government issue. Probably means he knows then about Kazuma. Kazuma is showing up here in London with amnesia and that he's regained his memory now, which is why he's probably on his way back. Ah, there she is. Hello? Oh, father. Oh, is that the judge? Damn, he looks really different without his fancy hat, but he still does have, like, the beard. And her dad's wearing a hat. Oh, he usually doesn't wear a hat, right? Yeah, and he's usually in, like, a different... He doesn't wear a suit. Dang, look at him. So dapper. Oh, father. Hello, Susato. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you arrived safe and sound. We sure are. Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure. We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has? I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man? Why do I feel as though I've seen him before? It's the judge. I know he looks completely different when he's not wearing his judge uniform. I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder, Sashiro? A firm tap should do it. Yes. A firm tap? What? Is he gonna punch me? Here we go, then. Why does he just have his judge hammer? It's his gavel, but I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty. Oh, you're... Yeah, he's just not wearing... Yeah, he does look pretty different just wearing regular guy clothes and no hat. Court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yeah, and that was from the first game. Yeah, you look very different. Your Excellency! Hello, Judge Jigoku. How are you? It's been a long time. Good, you've remembered now. That really did the trick. I don't think most judges carry their gavels with them, but what do I know? Guilty. Oh, you're a real charmer. Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time. So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though really I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Sashiro? What are you talking about, Eugen? Of course, Judge Jigoku. He must complete the set. You were looking but doing out oh yeah? Or doling out McDonald's? Hell yeah. I was highly considering getting McDonald's on the way back home today, but I was like, I'll be good and just stop by Aldi and get like food to make at home. But I might get McDonald's tomorrow because tomorrow's the start of my 3 days of long work days. So sometimes you just got to treat yourself to some McDonald's. He's the other man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Oh, I knew you were jealous. Oh, are you just gonna laugh like every other line? Sorry, ministerial status? Yes, didn't you know? Sashiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that I allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on this study tour. Hey, Dixies! Wipod grabbed it so when we finish running errands you can paint. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I get it. Especially, you guys have been working a lot. So it's way easier to just grab something that's ready to go and eat that instead of having to like cook and clean and then get back to doing the thing, you know? Yeah. Guilty as charged. Oh, it's his shtick. Oh, he's gonna keep doing this the whole time. Oh, well, thank you very much. It's really every bit as important as he looks. The painting is in the kitchen today, too. Oh, yeah, and you definitely don't want to be in there with all of the drying paint fumes trying to, like, do extra stuff. So, yeah. Good to just get stuff from outside. Ah, yes, now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that some things came to light in trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That, tragedy. Yeah. It's time? It's happening. It's happening! I will get on that. It's the beginning of the week. I gotta make sure I get out, because let me tell you something, Tide Pod. I've been sending people Christmas cards for the past 2 years, because I bought like a ridiculous amount of Christmas cards. But I'm getting kind of tired of sending out Christmas cards at every part of the year. So I think I'm going to go out and get a new set of cards. There's probably plenty of Texas-themed cards that I could get. So I'm going to try to see if I can find some of those. So I can send one of those out to you real quick. And also to Kat, because she redeemed one too. Unless you want a Christmas card. Most of them have glitter on them. I'll try to get cards that don't have glitter, because glitter is everywhere, and it doesn't ever go away. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Oh, converse. Wait, oh, okay, so we're just talking to both of these men. Your journey from Japan. So, how was the voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anybody's standards. Yeah, considering you could fly over here in like a day, that's crazy. Although, sometimes I wonder what it would be like just like being on a boat for like 2 months. Maybe I should do one of those things where you like get on a boat and have your way paid and get paid by like doing manual labor or other things. Who knows? Maybe that would be cool. Oh, it's horrible? Never mind. Maybe it's not that great. How's the start? So far, so good. Jigoku is the Japanese judge man, and he likes to laugh a lot, and he, for some reason, carries his gavel in his pocket. And Mikotoba, we know that he's hiding stuff, but we'll figure out, I guess, what's going on. He can lick you up at the seaport if you want. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Because I have, like, my passport and everything like that. It would be interesting. I don't know if I'd be able to really, like, blog that, though, because in the ocean, there is no signal. You're just in the ocean, but... You know, that would be a cool thing to do, I think, just at least like once in my life. Because I really haven't been on any big ships in a very long time, if ever. My mom had me booked for a cruise last year, but unfortunately I couldn't go due to some legal issues. So we're going to try it again probably next year. Yeah, 50 days. It wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. Oh, really? This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience. Because I don't mind manual labor. I feel like if I worked on a boat in the sea for like a couple of months, I would probably lose a lot of weight. Because you have to do a lot of stuff. And, you know, I'd be forced to just eat whatever was on the boat and not, like, boredom eat, which I'm trying to work on because it's not good, but sometimes it happens, you know? Ah, so you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris? Paris. But yeah, so far so good, Dixies. How is your day going? Oh, we did, yes. Though only for one night. And yesterday evening, we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. It's thanks to Sashiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to ingratiate himself with Britain's Attorney General. What did you guys make? Some kind of blood deal? Oh! Featured in the OG Pirate. What? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Tide Pod? Holy crap. That's really cool. Wow. Aren't they making another Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Is it like the fifth or... I don't know. I feel like the Pirates of the Caribbean is going to end up being like The Land Before Time, where there's like over 20, but everybody only remembers like the first 4. And who knows? Who knows? I don't think I've even seen the 4th one. Thanks. Yeah. He ingratiated himself. Sure, that's why he was invited, and I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. What? Who says that? An appendage? Speak for yourself, Eugen. You were close friends with the professor of forensic science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really. Is that so? No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Who? The killer man? Kazuma's father, I suppose. Kazuma. Okay, now we can talk about Kazuma. Are we going to be able to talk about it? Or are you just going to gloss over it? The long time ago, but wildly it's where you met wife pod. Cry. Oh! No, that's awesome. Like, hey, we meet people in all sorts of situations and places. So, but that's really cool. Oh, man. Like, it's insane to think of the thing. Like, you just kind of take stuff for granted. You're like, oh, that's just a prop or whatever. And it's like, no, that's somebody worked there. Somebody did, like, that was the thing that people did, you know? That was the thing that people, like, worked on or, like, decommissioned ships, care of stuff like that. I don't know. Also, why is Streamlabs saying I'm offline? Stream is not offline, and you're working online right now. Whatever. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, that's really cool. Compared to me, I've worked retail, and I worked at Pizza Hut twice. I really haven't had the most exciting life. I've lived in Texas most of my life, too, but, you know. There's plenty of opportunities out there. You just gotta actually, like, act upon. And, I mean, I live in Houston, so, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of, like, things to do around here. I know I can be, like, a dock worker and all that for things, but... Got an email from work saying don't contact given name until further notice. Given name is your boss, so... Oh! Weren't you having some issues with your boss as well? That sounds bad. Oh, no. Well, hopefully things work out, Dixies. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Oh, now you can talk about it. Genshin Asogi. Genshin! Oh, no wonder why he's evil. He's related to Genshin Impact. Genshin. Ugh, PTSD. You have no clue what's going on? I mean, fair. You knew, I presume, father? Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. Was he doing it to try to be the best killer man? Because that sounds what's happening. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland. But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Yeah, he was really sharp even as a child. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up as if he were my own son. Then one day, he came to my office at the university and said, I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. No, bad. Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death? I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. Oh, what? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma has since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Van Zeeks. What? Oh, what? That's news to us. Wait, is it? I don't know. I feel like they might be lying to me. I mean, they were hiding information before. So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, father? In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive and here in London, you say? Are you guys gonna try to kill him now? Does he know some key information? Is he gonna die no matter what we do? I never dared to even dream it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia. What? Amnesia? When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous. Is it? I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. I don't know, because he wants to keep all his pieces hidden? I must speak with him urgently. Wonder how Kazuma's been the past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him? Well, come on, please. That began 16 years ago. It's a distant memory, really. It was Yujin here, Genshin, Asugi, and myself. We were the original 3. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation. They're tough for my generation, and we have, like, planes and stuff. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at the Yume University at the time, you know, young lady. Yes, grandmother told me. He went to do research at the Great London Hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan. Oh yeah, they do have specific feelings about dead bodies. Yes, it was an eerie place sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Ugh, not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with the bodies following the autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. I mean, yeah. Not my cup of tea at all. Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Kaiden, his name was. He was a good man. Yes, but then of course in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I feel like maybe somebody else actually was the murderer and he just got the blame for it. I feel like that's really what Kazuma wants to know. I feel like his dad wasn't the killer. It was actually somebody else was like the mass murderer. Maybe it was Lord Strongheart. I don't know. But then somebody had to take the fall for it. So why not the Japanese man, the evil Japanese man from Japan with all of their racism and shit? Yeah, and we're gonna. There's a big old plot happening. Yeah. I was a witness at the secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice to say that after that trial, we were sent back to Japan. There's nothing more we could do to save Genshin. It was a lost cause, sadly. Oh. Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Okay. Suzuto-san's gone off at a run. Yeah, of course. She wants to help Dad out. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Yeah, this man just keeps saying guilty. Well, not him, the judge. Naruhodo. I hope you'll keep an eye on Suzuto for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been. Oh, no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her. After all, I've been a miserable father to her. Thoroughly let her down. Sorry? What do you mean? Sir? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born. Yeah, and then you were gone for a while. Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but I wasn't there. Well, sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yeah, Susato-san hinted at something like that. Oh, yeah, didn't your mom die? Oh, it was a rather turbulent time at home. Or not. Oh, wait. Other stuff. Did you get... Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. What? Okay. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Sashiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. What, did you, like, knock him out? So, that's what happened, in a nutshell. It's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say. Yeah. I mean, this is back in, like, right before 1900. How many trials per game? Well, technically just 5 in this game, but they are split into parts. So total, there's, like, 10 to 15 trial parts. Well, maybe not 15, like 10 to 13, 14. There's usually, like, 2 trial parts, but I think the final chapter has 3 trial parts. So it's gonna be long. Like, this is the 4th one, and there are 5 total episodes in this game. So I feel like this last part's probably gonna take about 20 hours because the last bits always take forever in Ace Attorney games. I completely understand, Professor. Ah, one other thing, Naruhodo. Die! And he shoots me. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Oh, an English favor, because he put the U in there. Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you? I'm sorry that took so long. That's the porter. Why does he have a camera? Why is he so angry? Why is he so green? Miss Susato. Now then, allow us to take your bags. Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, porter. Of course, sir. Why do you have a flask? Is that full of alcohol? Are you drinking on the job? That machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify the expense. Oh, yes, of course. Awkward. Dang, the judge is really tall. I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then, but we were interrupted before. Professor Mikotoba was about to ask me something. Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us. Why is he shut? I feel like that man might be drunk. I think that's the problem, because he definitely had a flask. What's in that flask? I don't know, but it's probably alcohol. Yes, let's go. I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. You can't? Yeah, true. Okay. I guess I should... Oh! A new location has been added. The Great Waterloo Hotel. Have you ever been to the Great Waterloo Hotel? To Dixie's? That's probably real, right? Or at least there's something in the real world that's similar. British Super... hey! It's Lord Strongheart and our best friend... Van Zeeks. Sorry, I forgot his name for a minute. It's been 2 weeks. You can forgive me. Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked for from the yard. I see. Excellent work. Thank you. You're welcome, my lord. What's Lord Van Zeek's doing here? I don't know. My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? You can't smell vodka? I think you can. I'm pretty sure any alcohol has a distinct smell, but maybe some smell less than others. I guess it depends on like the quality. Like I feel like low quality alcohol like smells worse. Like maybe the more it's filtered, the less it smells. I don't know. I've never thought about that. Here, does alcohol smell? Beer and wine, for example, are the least intoxicating drinks, but will cause the strongest odor. A much stronger drink, such as scotch, will have a weaker odor. Yeah, and okay. And vodka leaves virtually no odor at all. Okay. So you're right. Yeah, apparently vodka has very, very little odor. An area of London, a famous train station, is sung by ABBA. What alcohol has no smell? Extra neutral alcohol, ENA, is the purest form of alcohol with no taste or smell. No taste? It can be made from different raw materials such as sugarcane, molasses, or grains like corn, rye, wheat, barley, and rice. ENA is primarily used as a base for spirits and alcoholic beverages, but it has many other applications. Okay, so yeah, beer and wine apparently are kind of smelly, but they're not high in alcohol content, but vodka and other strong spirits have a much weaker smell. The more you know. Thank you for coming here and learning. Place is stifling enough as it is. Really don't need any more tension. Oh, hi. My best friends. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me. Wow, thanks. Oh, no. It's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here. That's not the point. Now then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Ugh, kill me now. Yeah. Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you. Yeah, with all these big, strong men around, I guess. I don't know. Or all of the clock stuff? Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room with such a perfect temperature. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. No, I'm just a stupid idiot. Thanks. Because of the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly. As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madame. Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited. I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting in your room in your capable hands, then, Lord Van Zeeks. I will attend at once. Bye! 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 He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he? I know, but I haven't done anything, have I? Of course not. These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in a spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service? Ryunosuke, you dumbass. Mr. Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Sith. Oh, of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, doing my job? Fear not, you've done nothing wrong. Dr. Sith's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further. That would be a lot easier if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me. Lord Van Zeeks is doing an admirable job of holding the fort, though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday. Oh, missing? What's become of Kazuma-sama now? But drinking mouthwash is the pro tip. You only smell like mints as you fall down the stairs. Awesome. They'll never be able to tell. How could I be drunk if I don't smell like a drunk? Riddle me that, people. Or should I say sheeple? Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million. Okay, for back then, that's a lot. 30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? Wait, Let me check something. World population 1900. Apparently, in the year 1900, the world population was estimated to be 1.6 billion. And by 1952, it had already gone up to 2.5 billion. My gosh, how are we making so many people? Oh, I guess like life cycles getting longer and all that, because we're at like 2020. 7.82 billion. Like, oh my god, it's that line is just like. What about 2024? Now we're at, in 4 years, we got over 8 billion. That's terrifying. That's a lot of people. That's like 1,000-ish times the population of Houston. There's already a lot of people here. As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital of Tokyo is 2 million. Wow! I will be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. Well, yeah, especially when you've got like things where people are like, ah, yes, 15 kids and counting. You don't need that many kids. Nobody needs that many kids. The most kids you should have is like, I don't know, 4 or 5? That's a lot of kids. There's plenty of other people having kids. You don't got to repopulate the world by yourself. Also, like, that's got to be hell on your body. Just one baby is already like, that's a lot of stress. I mean, apparently it gets easier as you go on. I don't know. I'm not a woman. You want to have 4? You see, 4 is okay. Like, there were 3 of us. And I feel like that's, if I had kids, 3 would probably be like my, like, that is all I want to have ever. How you got money for 5 to begin with? But because of, there's benefits and stuff. Or sometimes people are rich. Or sometimes they get, like, I really feel like with like 15 kids and counting and all that, I think they got money from like the production studio. Or people donated. I don't know. They had a lot of money for people with 15 kids. Or however many kids it was. There's a lot of kids. It was a lot. It's kind of ridiculous. You also get tax breaks for having children. Unfortunately, some people have children solely for that purpose. Those people shouldn't have children, but unfortunately they do. That's just the way the world works. And unfortunately, enough people do that everybody thinks that like benefits should be taken away because they're like, everybody's lazy. And I'm like, no, don't punish everybody just because some people suck. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries. Don't you guys love the tangents we go on while we're playing Ace Attorney, a fake courtroom drama game? Tax break is cool and all, but the money just, and that's what it's supposed to be for. The whole reason for the tax break is to have more money for the kids. Here at Tanky, punish everyone communally. Yeah, but a lot of people, like, there's plenty of people, even like child support is a very murky thing because everybody I know that has kids that has child support uses it literally for child support. There's other people who use that money for whatever else because it's not like it's like really regulated or anything. You just get a check from your baby daddy. And yeah, really sucks for those kids. Sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques, and cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here, at the heart of our great British Empire, in order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. Oh, he's using the words New World. I already know this man bad. So many stories of people using the money for drinking. Yeah, no, and it sucks because it's like, that's not for you. Like, it's to help support you bringing up your child. It's not for you to just while away, but it's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something. you're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. That's not true. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. Well, sorry that they suck. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Sith at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. By recipients of child support by 10 times. Oh, no, for sure. Like, the problem doesn't generally lie with the people receiving the benefits. It's generally the reason why they need those benefits. And yeah, people are like, oh, but child support is punishment enough. And I'm like, I don't know. Some of these people, I think they need something a little bit more because they tend to have, I've noticed a lot of people who owe child support tend to owe child support to multiple people, which is really bad. It's like, you didn't learn the first time, right? Okay, cool. If you don't learn by the fourth time, I don't know. You're just not, I don't think you're ever going to learn. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department. And can you not do that now? No, you dimwit. Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep this story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. Unintended repercussions of our trial. We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though. Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Are you, though? Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. Even though the mother makes more money? Oh, yeah. Because I know it's like the system is all about like kind of balancing out the incomes and all that, but I mean, that's just what happens. About Lord Van Zeek's apprentice. Ah, yes, that came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends. How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zeek's in the first place? I don't want to talk about it. Oh, it came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel. Oh my, so he stowed away to get here. He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact that he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeek's. That way, I could keep an eye on him. But then, why the mask? Because he's Asian. I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zeek's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice. Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask? Yeah, actually, it is. He's proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zeek's. I have high hopes for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being. Oh. I take it you also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean. Genshin Nasaki. Kazuma's father's crimes. Oh my gosh. What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was, oh yes, Genshin Asaki. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain. They were such awful murderers and unprecedented, oh god, sorry, English, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon. And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London. The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time. I understand. Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? Oh, because he was killing the upper echelon. The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Even Van Zieks' brother? Or so a fair few thinkers in London believed, anyway. Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it? It seems very similar, doesn't it? The idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. Yeah, so maybe the professor never really left. They just changed his victims. Okay. Wait, do I have anything? I have nothing to present. Well, I guess it's time to go to the suite. Oh, that's his mask. Is he here then? What? What was that? A man screaming in the most unflattering way. Do you think, could it have been Mr. Sholmes? Oh my, I do hope not. Who? I hate them already. I already hate both of them. Stop crying. I don't do it anymore. What? Are you Italian? Is this Mario? Oui. I don't even know how to pronounce that type of E. Or French? Mon ami. Stop this disgraceful display, huh? Who are these people? Look at their hair. It's bright red. Why is one of them crying? Scream crying. I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Oh, and Gina's here too. Right, you two, you're coming with me now. Down to the clink. No, not in prison. It is dark and damp and I don't like it. Boff! The darkness, it is my friend. I am not scared. Okay. Oh, but you're always scared of the dark. Shut your mouth, you idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and plan our next daring heist. Oh, were you trying to heist Sholmes' place? I don't like this. I don't like it. Oh, God. Well, tough. We'll finish this down at the yard. Now get moving. I hate them. Every time I meet a new character in this game, I'm immediately like, they suck. Go away. Why can't we have some good characters? Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Oh yeah, thanks, Iris. And thanks, ya great detective. Oh, Sholmes? Is Sholmes here? Where's Sholmes? Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie and Bruno. Hello, Iris. We're home. Well, did you find your daddy? Please don't say it like that. Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, well, that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Oh, yes, of course. He's dead. Dr. John H. Wilson. So, Iris, all that remains now is that greatest of problems known to man. Oh, you dyed your hair too. But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you, my dear fellows? You. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? Not so much on your face, as on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I've brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea. Is nobody going to talk about his head? Whatever is going on here today? In that case, let us sit and drink now, for I am in fact expecting a guest later today. Your hair. The lie you told. Why is none of this have to do with his hair? Mr. Sholmes, who are the two gentlemen that were here before? Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. I don't know. Everything is significant in some way, so you're lying again. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions. When the mood takes you? All manner of infractions? But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out. Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes? But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally. You should have asked Grexy to come too. We could have had an arresting tea party. I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Aha! I have it! A bungler! That's the word. Oh, that's rude. Don't call him a bungler. It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. Yeah, he'd probably have a fit. So those redheads have been up to no good. I wonder what the men did. It sounded like they were doing a heist. The greatest problem. What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before? Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes? How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? Well, I think I've heard of it somewhere. Possibly. In school or something. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in the treetops. Wait, what? We were apes? Yes, West African apes. Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. Our lot? What is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes? Why, is it not obvious, my dear madame? The problem of rent. I'm pretty sure rent was a fairly new occurrence. Well, I wouldn't say new, but like rent as it is today. Well, fair. But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Tuspells only the other day? A large sum? One potted herb for Iris and a new motor car for me later, and all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you. A motor car? Why did you buy a whole car? Honestly, Hurley, you know you squandered it. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem. For the coming month, at least. What, are you gonna, whore yourself out this time? And what was the answer? Why, there is a substantial clue before your very eyes. Is it your hair? Don't tell me. Let me see. Humans are sorry creatures unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. In the end? It was like the first thing we noticed. It's your hair, you dumbass. It's been stabbing me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo. What are you talking about? Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes on any longer. The lie you told. Yeah, can you tell us about that? Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us... I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. Yeah, well, why were you lying that time? A case aboard the SS Buria in January. Kazuma wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, a side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you now know. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew. But how? Oh, I gave them money. After they'd carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Oh, how horrible. It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why'd you do it in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. Like, not now? Why not now? But for the time being, I would like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh. I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sholmes? Yeah, okay, so that's okay. Cool. That's all you're gonna tell me. God, how many times is this man gonna not tell me stuff? I'm gonna go upstairs, I guess. 1st November, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. That's where I live. What to do? It's good news that Professor Mikotoba arrived safely, isn't it? Yes, it's wonderful. And the fact that Father has been invited to this important international event really makes me very proud to be his daughter. Your father, Judge Jigoku, us, and Kazuma, of course. It's an ever-increasing number of Japanese here in Britain's capital, isn't there? Well, yes, I suppose so. But London does have a population of 6 million people, so I think we're still a minority. Well, obviously. Susanoo-san's father, who came here as a visiting student 16 years ago in Kazuma. It's almost as if some great power has been at work, drawing them here across the ocean to London. And I feel as though the waters are starting to swell again now. What to do? Okay, so I guess we're just gonna cut her out. Move. Maybe back to the Waterloo Hotel? There's nowhere else to go. Oh, wait. What am I doing? Frick. Go back to Sholmes' suite, because we got to look at the table. Because the mask is there. So we're gonna have to be like, hey, isn't that Mr. Man? The mask Kazuma wore when he was assigned to Lord Van Zeeks as his apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. Oh, you took it. Okay. We ought to give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself. But isn't he your best friend? Well, things are different now. Okay. Oh wait, maybe I should go talk to Iris. Is it here? Guys! I'm already lost. I mean, I know about your hair. Okay, so I looked at the mask. What else could maybe I just need to look. Let me go look around the Great Waterloo Hotel. That's a picture of Crystal Tower. Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years. I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of achievement in so many ways. It's a 20-meter tall chimney in the bathhouse near my lodgings at Yuma University. The attendant there is always boasting that's the tallest object in the neighborhood. I'm sure. Did you know that over the channel in Paris, there's a tower that's 300 meters tall? What? How many times taller than the chimney at Yuma? That's 15. If that's tall, how does it draw properly? The smoke would get stuck, surely. I don't think it's that sort of tower, Mr. Naruto, you idiot. The fancy chandelier. Luggage. Look at all those cases just left there on that trolley. Are they worried about thieves? I know I am. Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry, he's obviously keeping an eye on everything. Ah, so it's a trap designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted. No. No. Why did the porter give me such a scathing look just now, do you suppose? Well, some might say you look a little suspicious with your jet black clothes. That's racist. Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, you know. Also, sorry, you're gonna see me randomly grabbing at the air sometimes because there's a gnat. And gnats are so annoying, so I'm like, if I could catch it, that would be awesome, because then it would stop being around, but... That desk is known as the hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night has to report there to sign in for their stay. Okay, so that's reception. Wouldn't you love to stay at a grand hotel? But yeah, we'd be bankrupt. Okay, so... None of this has been helpful. Oh, I'm sure we've asked everything we need to. Well, he didn't really have anything extra. I don't have anything to present. I guess we're just gonna examine. Oh wait, newspaper maybe? This looks like last week's edition. What's that article circled in red ink there? It's an advertisement column. It says, to the Red-Headed League. Oh no. So he changed his hair color so he could join. The Red-Headed League? What's that? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but, yeah. Is there something on my face? Clearly, this has something to do with that, lively hair. The Red-Headed League has been entered into the court record. Okay, well, I guess it's time to present. Take that! Looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes. Yeah, I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair. So, at last you've learnt to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? You mean common sense? In the first instance, and quite indispensable, observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. No, please. Regale or boast. Oh, the Red-Headed League. So what is the Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled? noticed it in the paper then. That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. It was? How? According to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me. But listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they join. An unconditional salary of £4 a week. Oh my, £4 a week? Sounds awful. But why? What are they paying these people for? That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement. But surely every red-headed person in the country would be flocking to join the case. In that case, you're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once, but your hair's pink. So will I, just on the off chance. That might be stretching a point, I think. Trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see. Oh, I see. So a certain number of people have joined. No one else can. But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away. That's terrible. It wasn't particularly lucky for the redhead in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes. So you decided to try to join them? Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. It's just like, no, definitely not. So why did it have to go so wrong? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruhodo, though it pains me to admit it. What's the blunder? What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes? I'm glad you asked, Miss Susato. What you see atop my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight by the wonders of chemistry. Isn't that just dyeing it? Chemistry? I was conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves, and in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion that, when taken, turns one's hair a flame-like red. That's not real. Would you like to try it? It will make every hair on your body perfectly crimson. Wait, why isn't do you not have arm hair then, sir? I think I'll pass. But Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it? Amateurs are always hampered by such fears. Oh, I should have never doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say... But of course! To earn £4 a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger. That degree of red signals more than just a little danger, surely. Yeah, that sounds like the most dangerous. So, anyway, Hurley left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair for the park on Lime Street, where the Red-Headed League were interviewing prospective new members. So, what went wrong? Oops. The whole park was choked with red-headed folk, like a Coster's orange barrow. I don't know what that means. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. But when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Oh, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?" Wow. I mean, I don't want to say he's an idiot, but goddamn. So naturally, I had no choice but to reply, "Shh, don't give me away." After which I could do little else but turn and leave. After 8 hours. Then this morning when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police. Oh dear, what a disaster. For Hurley and those two redheads. Okay, well, I hope this is relevant because that took up a lot of time. Oh, cool. Ding-a-ling-ling. Aha! Here's my guest now, my latest client with money to spend. Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Hurley. Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating, save locating a runway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you? Oh dear, I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact, especially just before rent is due. Thwack. Thwack? Oh, it's you! It's the lady from the jury. Mr. Sholmes, oh, Erlock Sholmes, please, oh, please. Please find my husband. He's run away. Well, what are you gonna do? Somebody's run away. To upset me? I beg your pardon? Never mind, a personal matter, my apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo? I didn't say a word. Come, my dear madam, please be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please. Of course. Oh, man. What's the matter, Miss Susato? Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently. She was on the jury. Yes, now that you come to mention it, she was juror number 2 or 3? 2 or 3? I think she was 2. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madame. Shut up! That's untrue. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Don't say that, you. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence. I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also. If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be, me? What I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand. These are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything with which you may say to me. Ah, I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. What? Why did I ever get my hopes up? Rude. Except I'm the one talking to her. Miss Vigil. Mr. Vigil. Forgive me for asking, Miss Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps? Oh, my. Pshaw, my dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion. That's not what I'm doing. Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? Ah, look at her. Ah, I knew I recognized her. Yeah, she was juror number, I think 3 or 2. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, and then Corn Girl, and then other guy. Yeah, it says right there she's juror number 2. Yeah. I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now. Well, now that she's not on the spot, it must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Oh, dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really. Nothing more. Now look what you've started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much. I do believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Yes. Except I'm the one still doing all the questioning. Wait. Do, please. Tell us about your husband, madame. Mr. Vigil, my daily vigil. I hate this game. Is 40 years of age. How old are you? How old are you? Wait a second. Wait a second. 36. She does not. Well, I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell. She didn't really look that old. I have a photograph here. Oh, look, nice hair. Nice eyebrows. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married? It will be 15 years this year. Dang. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably, as I can tell from your necklace. As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things. Oh, gosh. It's like, no, I live simply like every other person. Your dress is the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. What does that have to do with anything? In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct? That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me. Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or other. Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What does that mean? What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will? What exactly is your husband's line of work? He's a warder at the prison. Oh, no. A guard? That is somewhat unusual. Is it? I guess. I mean, I think like prison wardens have been around ever since there's been prisons. So, your husband is a prison warder. That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder. Oh, so that's why he's been making that money. Indeed, I see. Well, a chief prisoner warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation. Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see them carried out. Dreadful punishments. Does she mean that like capital punishments? And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is remunerated. I keep messing that up. It's not remunerated, it's remunerated. Remunerated is the wrong way to do it, I learned the other week. More handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors. They probably would see it as like unscrupulous because it's like, oh, you work at the prison. Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged? Barclay in prison, Mr. Sholmes. Really? Barclay? Oh, fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery just behind it. Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery. Oh, no, that's the one with the killer man. Lowgate Cemetery, the very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable. Well, I believe it. Unbelievable, my dear fellow, and yet undeniable. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid you've lost me. Pay no heed, madame. Pay no heed, a private matter. This can't be a coincidence, can it? Your husband's disappearance. So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance, when did you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. I'm sorry? Yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him to not return home at night, but this is different. For him to not make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever can have happened? My dear Miss Vigil, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for 1 day. I was asked to wait patiently at home. In truth, Miss Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay us any sum you care to mention. You seek only to put this suite's rent in your landlady's yeah, that's all there is to it. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what now? Are we going to go to the prison? Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Miss Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me with the good news, sir. Fear not, madame. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm sure. So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Sholmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. The photograph of Mr. Vigil has been entered into the court record. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Now, allow me to show you the door. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous. You know, I think it every time, Hurley. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Wow. Good news in a day or two? Are you sure? I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her some good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of day tomorrow. Oh, come on. Why are you so bad at this? If by that time I have successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent, and what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that. Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery. Lowgate Cemetery is oh yeah, and ghosts of condemned convicts. Yes, we remember that from Mr. Man. Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated. Professor. And now a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed, but nothing you can't handle. Mr. Naruhodo. Okay. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? Hey, isn't this your case? No doubt the man is equally worried. Oh, the prison governor you want, yeah. But aren't you going to go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair. But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? That was quite a different matter. No, so I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm rather busy. Of course you are. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. An Indian burial ground? Well, I guess in Britain maybe they don't have those there. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. First November, Barclay Prison, governor's office. Oh, hello! Place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot remember the last time a civilian was down here. And you do not want to talk to an inmate, but to me? What do you look like? Oh, that's a lot of chin. He's Chin Man. You ken who I am? I'm the governor, Barry Gaiden. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. Are you sweating because I'm a Japanese man? And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean, yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan! Did you say Japan? Yes? Well, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. That was a joke. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about... I don't like to be so direct, but, I have no intention of speaking with the likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners. Wow, just because I'm Japanese? Now get out of my hair. So as soon as he finds out we're from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means... Oh, I just noticed that clock. That's a dangerous clock. I think it's because of the professor case. You think so too? 10 years ago, yeah, the professor was incarcerated in this prison. And then after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison. Hey, I might have known. You're sniffing around about that case, aren't you? You're agents, eh? Part of the professor's great web, no doubt. No, not at all. Oh, conspiracy theory, man. Get gone with you before I punch your lights out. We're going. Clearly the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not going to get anywhere here, unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Caden? What are you thinking, Miss Susato? I feel sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. Did it? I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Who was it? I don't believe we visited this place for some time. So is it back here? Oh, time to talk to Dad? Examine Father. Hello, Father. That's Professor Mikotoba over there. Yeah. Oh, hello, you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. But where's Judge Jigoku? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today, goodness, he is full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before about how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison. Oh, he said something. I read all of that, and I don't... okay, he said Barclay. I don't think he said the name, though. Oh, Governor Caden, you mean? So it is the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful, if you have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment, reading the newspaper and doing nothing else. Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee? Now, I have a rather lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? That's what I don't understand. Isn't the blue text supposed to be in my head? Why do people keep responding to it? You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Yeah, no, you notice? Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts? I don't know. If I think something, it doesn't matter if I'm making a face. It doesn't translate exactly to what I said. Let's not fall out now. I have an idea. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Oh, probably like a little note where it's like, hey, let these kids do what they want. Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Ah, thank you. The letter of introduction has been entered to the court record. Good luck then. Okay. Bye. Have fun with your newspaper. Okay. I want to examine it. Oh, Oh, he wrote it on the back of his ticket. Oh, looks like some sort of steamship ticket. SS Grouse, first class cabin 001. Yokohama departure 11th September. London arrival 1st November. Jeez. Ah, that's the boat that Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku came on from Japan, isn't it? Yes, I think it called at Dunkirk on the north of France, night before finally arriving in Dover. I think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Buria. Seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think? Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary. And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone? Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo? Did I imagine it, or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? Well, no, because you're dumb. Oh, it's written on the back of a steamship ticket. Is this going to be some kind of evidence later? Professor Mikotoba has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Is it just me, or does that make me sound extremely untrustworthy? Also, hi, Shiro. I do wish at least he'd call you a nice young man. Really not sure that would help. I'm a nice guy. Hey, what about can I look at the torn bit? Or is the torn bit... Why is it torn, though? Present. Hold it! If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Caden. What's this, then? You cannot pull the wool over my eyes, you good-for-nothing Japanese student. Hey, that's racist. Please don't say that. Mikotoba. That young jock from the forensic laboratory? That Mikotoba? Yes, exactly. Him. Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. Maybe if I wore my white suit that I don't have. I'm Yujin Mikotoba's daughter, Suzato. Jings, you're the young man's daughter. And you did not think to mention that before. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have believed me if I just name dropped. I do apologize. Well, you'd best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? And did not forget to try one of these wee handcuff biscuits. Why is that cup so tiny? Oh, well, I guess they drink tiny coffees. Yeah, Yujin isn't so young. Oh. Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. Well, it's okay. You only wasted everybody's time. So then, what can I do for you, Anne? Well, we're currently investigating a case. One of your warders, you see, he's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor. I have not heard nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison. Oh, but how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warder. Eh? Vigil? That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Hi, Lily. Happy birthday. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? Aye, of course. Okay, cool. So he's gonna talk to us now. Oh. Yeah, how do you not know about him? We understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. What do you mean he was? Wasn't it just yesterday? Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Why do you keep... Sorry, did you say was? Aye, he does not work here no more. He left the job. What? Oh my. When was this exactly? Oh, yesterday. There's a question. When was it about? Cannot have been much less than 10 years ago now. What? What? Excuse me? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago? Aye, as I mind it. Don't you can, I haven't heard the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing, though. But Miss Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. For 10 years? Where has he been going for 10 years? Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important, is it? Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's very important. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago, and that everything significant happened 10 years ago. Ah! Yeah. Which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison. Oh, it's swapped. So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of chief warder 10 years ago, you're telling us. What happened to make him leave the job? I don't know, maybe he was tired of it. In actual fact, he did not leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. Oh, was it part of the secret? You mean he was dismissed? We don't like saying that word. It was after a particular walk. Sorry? A walk? That's our word for it in here. A walk to the gallows. Oh, he had to accompany, the prisoner. An execution. It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Only, Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning. Well, what did he do? I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. That doesn't help. What did he do? But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post. But why wouldn't Miss Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't ken anything about that, I'm afraid. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? And what would that be, Anne? That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing, was it by any chance the professor's? My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am, but I'm not at liberty to answer that. I see. Man, you sure are not at liberty to say a lot of things. Hey, what about Professor I can't talk about that. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine, but you seem to have been well acquainted. The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research, don't you, Hen? Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable. Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard. In the basement of St. Sinners, still in use today. St. Sinners, that's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right, we've been there. Mikotoba and I used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms. For more fresh material, I suppose. That's in my head. I hate how they respond to something that's technically supposed, like, why have the blue text if it doesn't even mean anything? If it's just blue. And we used to sit in here for hours and gab about dissection and all sorts. Ugh, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cuff biscuits, of course. Ah, okay. How charming. He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable and dead set on his work. Ha ha ha, get it, dead set? But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Asugi, I suppose. Well, I cannot tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one moment before you're away, and... Oh. Sure, I have it here somewhere. Oh, that man just has an axe strapped to him. I mean, I guess they don't give him a gun, so he just has an axe. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison. What is it? That's Vigil's dismissal note. It's 10 years old now, of course. Oh my, are you sure? Aye, it's no trouble at all. No, the original, mind. Vigil's dismissal notice has been entered into the court record. The harsh reprimand incurred by Mr. Vigil 10 years ago that resulted in him losing his job as chief warder of the Barclay prison. Thank you very much, Governor Caden. Well, in return, don't ever come back here again. Do me a favor and... I knew it! Do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed. Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report to Mr. Sholmes. What will he tell Miss Vigil, I wonder? That your husband's a fucking liar? Chief Warder Daily Vigil is relieved of his post with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for prisons. All rights to redundancy pay and other financial benefits are fully revoked, so he didn't even get, like, severance pay. So he's been doing something for 10 years. Reason for dismissal. Aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict just prior to his execution. So I like that he's like, I can't tell you, but here's the thing that tells you exactly what happened. Details of this escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Prisoner Governor Barry Caden. Additional notes. Indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed that the convict engaged in some form of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. Yeah, exactly. Like, what? I don't know. What has he been doing? I have a general idea of things. I am about 60% sure that Kazuma's dad wasn't actually the professor killer. I feel like somebody put the blame on him and somebody else was the killer. I'm leaning towards Strongheart being something. I feel like there's definitely a big conspiracy happening. But when I talked to him, he said that there were some people who felt that those nobles being killed was a good thing. And also, we're still having a similar thing happening with the Reaper of the Bailey, with these people getting their just desserts and all that. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shifty shit that happened, but they also covered it up because they're like, oh no, but relations with Japan. But also they were trying to cover their own asses because they didn't want a British guy to be the killer when there were all these Japanese around to pin it on. Sholmes is sweet, but I mean, we'll figure that out in these next 2 episodes. First November, Sholmes is sweet. We're back! Hello, you two. Oh, it's Iris saying that. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all. Oh, so that's what that delicious smell is. It's blue now. Greetings, my dear fellows. You've returned at a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application. Oh my. Pray tell me, what of our warder friend? Have you garnered some new information? Oh, yes, something very surprising in fact. Though it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest. It most certainly isn't. But still, we discovered that... Sholmes! It's Gina. What? Drop everything, Sholmes. This is important. More important. Gina? I can't Adam and Eve it. What do you mean? What? What's happened? Clearly a very grave matter indeed. Can we stop talking about graves for 5 seconds? For Miss Lestrade to make no mention of my hair whatsoever. It's the boss. What do you mean? Inspector Gregson? What happened to Gregson? Is he dead? The boss he's... Oh my, he really is are you fucking kidding me? Okay, cool, great. He's dead. What? They just found his body, shot with a pistol. What? Yeah, well, but Inspector Gregson? Well, that explains why he didn't come to the red-haired party. He was murdered? No, not Gregsy. Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story. Oh, boy. Okay. What do you... hello? Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson he was really shot? I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then. Yeah, he got too close to the truth, I bet. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. The boss he was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him I'd become a proper detective. Aw, oh Ginny. Any idea who the culprit was? So who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? They got him already. Already? They've caught the shooter so soon? A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there and took care of him. Who? What awful person did this? Oh, if it's freaking Jigoku. Or, Kazuma. I still can't believe it myself. Or, oh no, come on. The biggest twist of all. The biggest twist of all. It's gotta be Van Zieks. Gina? It was the Reaper. Of course. Of course. Wait a minute, you don't mean they've arrested Lord Van Zieks for it? But he doesn't even use a gun. He's Swordman. That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss. No, Lord Van Zieks. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, and he likes to put his leg on the table, but he wouldn't shoot a man without good reason. Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade, it's Barock Von Zieks the police have arrested? I saw him with my own eyes in the interview room at the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they all are saying it was him. Oh, whoa. All the witnesses said it was him. I have a sinking feeling that all of these witnesses are fucking criminals, because we know that criminals have it out for Van Zieks because they actually think that he's killing these other criminals, and also because he's a prosecutor. But, oh boy, this is gonna suck. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? Like a gang? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and that Reaper bloke in the room. Have you heard of a sniper, Gina? But there's no way Lord Van Zieks would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. Okay, well, let's go to Fresno Street. Oh, God, it's even worse from the side. Thank you for informing us, Miss Lestrade. This really is the most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, it's not. I was trying to make you feel better. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come in all as soon as you can. You've got to help. Okay, why don't I just go with you? Why don't I just go with you? Okay, bye. It's a detective. Detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot is unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes? What use is there in being a great detective if I failed to see something like this coming, How could I let this happen to Gregson? Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you could glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later, then. I'm gonna go find my hat and hide my shame. Inspector Gregson dead and Lord Van Zeek's arrested. Bruno, Susie, I've called you a hansom. It's waiting outside. That's a carriage. Just call it a carriage. Even Ginny said cab. Can you just call it a cab? Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Miss Susato? Yes. Okay, move. New location has been added. Prison. Okay, we want to... Well, okay, we'll go there first, I guess, because it's telling me to go there first. Hello? 1st November, room on Fresno Street. Oh. Oh, whoa, wig? This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down in the back street. So this dust-ridden rented old room is where it happened then. Well, I guess the red-headed gang... I knew it was going to be important. There's no way he would make me talk to him for like 20 minutes about something that didn't do anything for the story. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. There's a toy. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere. Oi! What do you think you're doing there? Every one of them drawers has got to be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked, and don't forget inside the chimney stack, too. Blimey, ain't you lot ever gone to a house looking for dough when the owners are out of town? No, they're cops. Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. Oh, hi. Oh, so you've turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Hello again, Gina. Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that. I came here immediately, and he already got here and left. He went prancing around here, pointing at stuff and flicking at Adois, and then just scuppered. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah, he didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, Otto. You're a lawyer, right? Yes. Why? Well, you're not thinking of, trying to help that Reaper bloke, are you? Of course I am! Oh, poor Gina. She's never gonna forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Zeeks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court. I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Otto. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here. Thank you, Gina. Wait, is there anything? Okay. First things first. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? That's what I want to know. What? Half a year since I got out of the clink? That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead. Yes, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he? Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is I didn't really know much about the boss until then. But it turns out he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really? They say you managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that. You did? Yep. And ever since then, he's started going on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half these cases he's working on are, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So, what was a legendary specter doing in a dingy room like this? I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, and look where that landed him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I heard him say as much. I take my hat off to that fella. Were his words. Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, and the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke. Didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in such high regard. He said something else to me and all, that I didn't need to worry about the Reaper because he only goes after people what are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Right. Crime scene. What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's been rented to some cove called Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone? Sort of here today, gone tomorrow name that, isn't it? Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. I see, well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right? All the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into the investigation. But there's so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder. Yes, Miss Susato? Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself? What? How could that be? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his. Well, I'd never even considered that. Nice work, Suze. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves. You are? If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hint at it. Should really investigate this place in detail. Is there like a picture of his wife? Is that what that is on the side? I guess we'll have to check. I see that's where the poor inspector was found over there. Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through him and struck that candle tree on the wall. Oh yes, it's blown one of the candles apart completely. And the gun used is on the floor. It's the Reaper's, isn't it? No denying that. I didn't even know he had a gun. I thought he just had a sword. What? Really? How do you know that? Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself with it stare with the big wide eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him? The bigwig lawman, is it? Oh, wait. Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Well, I feel like they made themselves scarce afterwards. Yeah, they've all been taken down to the yard for questioning. That's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. They'll be getting a grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping for, and you'll be up for a grilling and all. We can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah, or wife? What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are, look! Mr. Naruhodo, quickly! Oh. Wait. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? Wait. What? Of course she's familiar. We only met her this morning. Ah, it's Miss Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Miss Vigil in here? To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either. Photographic print of a smiling Miss Vigil in her younger years. She looks pretty similar. Even the clothes. Okay, I want to look at that and see if there's like writing or something on it. Oh, no, nothing. She still has the same brooch and everything. Okay. This is a bunch of cases. This looks like some sort of notice board or something. And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, look! This, you mean, it's an autopsy report, isn't it? And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates. Yes, in fact, they're all the sort of document that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Oh, and this one here. Oh, yes, the advertisement, you mean, to the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Well, I guess we should probably go look at, this. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is. A bright red hairpiece. And I suppose the fact that it's right next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it? And in such a flame-colored red, too. Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly. It's a vital clue, I'm sure of it. Red hairpiece has been entered into the court record. Now can I zoom in on this? Oh, the little net. I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have to use a lot of bird lime to keep it in place on your head, so it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean. That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think? Oh, what do you mean? I thought you would comment on the color, but I guess that's it. Nothing especially crazy about this. All right, well, we have a wig. We have a picture of Miss Vigil. There's a Bobby doll. Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way. Seeing as it's on the floor here, you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zeek's playing with something like this. Only about 8 centimeters tall. Could have fallen out of somebody's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful, after all. In a way. Policeman figurine has been added to the court record. Gun! This is presumably the murder weapon, then. Oh my, it is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan. I really know very little about them. There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot! No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer to just ask someone who might know, I think. Well, Ginny said she doesn't know a whole lot about guns. Guess it's time to look at the outline. How depressing. So I suppose this is where the victim... That's right. The rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Poor Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. Would probably be under Dr. Sith's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Sad. Are you feeling all right, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality. Suzato-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am. I feel like there's going to be a breaking point sooner or later. Top one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. I guess I would explain why it didn't burn down like the rest. Yes, there's wax spattered on the wall behind. Look! I suppose if a bullet had hit it... It does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Ugh. Now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. Candelabrum has been entered in the court record. Thank you. Here, let's take a look at the gun and the doll. Kind of hoping it would be like a nutcracker or something. The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. Not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Shall we try twisting it around and around too, for fun? Oh, whoa! Ah, what's that? It appears to be some sort of key. But it's tiny, though. Couldn't be a key for a door, not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder? We twisted the head and we got a very small key. Well, I'm glad that I twisted its head, I guess. Revolver. I suppose this must have been the murder weapon. Oh my. It's real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. Have someone... Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's not a lot we can do with it until we present it to somebody else. Maybe Iris would know. Iris does make guns of various types. Oh, there's some black marks here, look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. Back it up. Fireplace. An empty fireplace makes the room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No. That's right. It's one or the other. I might need to present this to here. Gina, what do you make of this? What is that? Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay, never mind. She doesn't care about that. How about the red hair piece? Gina, what do you make of this? Okay, never mind. How about the doll? Gina. Okay, well, I'm glad at least they say the same thing. You know, what do you... Okay, so she doesn't care about any of this. Oh, no. Maybe I need to... I don't really want to inspect all the cops because it feels like that's not actually going to help me. Actually, wait, let's go to the prison for now. We'll go talk to Lord Van Zeeks. Oh, hi. He's just over there reading. There he is. Lord Van Zeeks is behind bars. So it's true. He really was arrested. He's sitting with his back to the wall reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zeeks. Oh, my learned Japanese friend. Fancy meeting you here. Wow. Nice. The last place on Earth I'd like to be with the last person on Earth I'd like to see. Wow, that's really rude. I thought we were chill. Couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me, but... Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigations, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case? This? The Yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with a suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance. Oh, who might that be? Someone you know, as it happens, Albert Hairbrain. Oh! course, yes. I keep forgetting they went to the same university. And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know? Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zeeks never minces his words, but they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. He's probably feeling pretty blah, you know? Just saying. What happened? That's what everybody wants to know. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zeeks? What happened? How much do you already know? We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street, and that you were found there by police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested. We were told that nobody else was in the room and that some witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed. And there's really nothing more I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened to myself. But the gunshot, obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise. However, before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened. If I'm to ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with? I don't need to answer that. Oh! After all, you're not representing me. He's going to need a lawyer, though. Your defense. Who's going to do it? Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zeeks? Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Haha, what a great guy. Would it be right in assuming that you have no representation as of yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, of all the defendants I prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now. Surely not. I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole. But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you? It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that. What does he mean by that? Hey, I know that's like your personal friendship letter, but tell me about it. After the trial, Professor Harebrained was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought. It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean? Yes, so it seems. Your stooped little Nipponese friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Harebrained is safely back in Germany now. He is. Okay. And that's all I'm going to tell you, unless you represent me. Get out of here. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. No, I have things to show you. There was a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, you'll excuse me now. I wouldn't like to detain you. I was wondering, Lord Van Zeeks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. You trust me, do you? Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people, so I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. At least, like, just to do it. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nipponese. But please, I have no intention of engaging your services. Chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems. That's what she said. I'd appreciate if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time. Okay. Charming. Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. Well, yeah. You know what? I never realized I have to pay attention to what she says, because every time she's like, do you know, I don't believe we visited the place for some time, even though we visited it like 10 minutes ago. That's where I gotta go. Okay, yeah, we're back. You've made good time. I took an express train back to London. Is it Kazuma? Is he talking with Kazuma? I bet he's talking with Kazuma, because he said that he wasn't in London anymore. I can hear Lord Strongheart. Can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Like Kazuma! I knew it. He has 2 swords now! Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's... Kazuma-sama! Don't just scream it! Calm down! Oh, you're here to interrupt my conversation with yet another person! Wow! Oh, your timing is impeccable as always. It is? No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry. You are really, really quick to turn on your best prosecutor. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zeeks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson. I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zeeks for this crime. Yeah, you're definitely up to some shit if you're immediately ready to just turn on him. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. Oh, no, surely not. It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes. So does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Why do you mean an introduction? I know him. Kazuma. Hi. Ah, but of course you're already acquainted, aren't you? Well, he was my best friend, but now I'm not so sure anymore because he's changed a lot. Mr. Oski here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings as the prosecutor. As the prosecutor. I fucking knew it! Leading the prosecution. Wait, what? Kazuma? He seems a lot colder than he used to be. But we haven't had much of a chance to talk to him aside from the moment that he was like, yeah, I gotta figure out why Dad was killer. And then he just kind of fucked off. As I'm sure you're aware, he's a capable practitioner of law. Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor? Okay, excuse me, tomorrow's trial. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no, people all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds. There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey, and now the Reaper himself must stand in the dock. Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped my conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths. But Lord Van Zeeks firmly denies any involvement in such matters. Of course he would. And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least, until now. Oh, you suddenly have magical new evidence against him? Is that what you're telling me? Ah. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. Oops, I almost say industry. Although he makes it sound like some kind of industry. So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow? That's right. But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart. I mean, if you think about it, you can be either one. You're You're just trying to find evidence to prove your side right. Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. No doubt at all that Kazuma-sama will be razor sharp as a prosecutor, especially with 2 swords. But why Kazuma-sama? There's surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain. Oh, but he worked under Van Zieks. It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial. What? Why? Oh, are you testing my mettle? Is that what this is, Kazuma? You're gonna act like bad boy, but you're really just like, I gotta see how my best friend does defense now. Even though he was technically at the dock the other day, but he was still very amnesiac. So I don't know. But you asked for this, but why? It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Yeah, of course. Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. How do we force his hand? I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented, quite exceptional, in fact. It's okay, we like doing new things. You are quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks. So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution. Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have honed after practicing law in this land for so many months. Oh, are you going to give me the sword back? Or are you just holding it? Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Oh no, he was just holding it. The killer's gun. Oh yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zieks? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene. Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know. That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct. It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine. Wait, does that mean that Kazuma has a gun? In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim. No, Gregson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Van Zieks? He claims it's currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. Oh. In short, it's more than a little suspicious. But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's is no proof that it's actually his. No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zieks. Well, I guess that's it. Reprimand. That? Because I'm pretty sure showing him the gun wouldn't mean a damn thing. Are you sure that's everything we need to? Okay, so that means I need to present something, I guess. You know about this? Could I show you this Lord Strongheart? I'm the Lord Chief. Oh, okay. Especially when the evidence is so dull. Okay, it's dull evidence. He doesn't like that. How about the gun again? Can I show you this? Oh. Oh. Oh, I should have known. Oh man, do I have to talk to him too? Ugh. Why can't they just let you switch between people? I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be all right now. Has your memory completely returned? Yes, completely. I remember everything, including what I was coming here to do. Right, so what was that? Kazuma-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But How did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. That voice guided me here, to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Oh, cool. That's it? That's it? We're done? I guess we're done here. Cool. Doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery. I'm not going to be there, though. I'm going to go strong arm Mr. Man. Sorry I've taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
What now? I thought we were done. Before you go, Ryunosuke. Oh, what is it, Kazuma? I just wanted to thank you. What? Kazuma-sama, what? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh? Obviously, you want to learn about your dad. I actually have a favor to ask. Which is this trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Oh, I'll be there because I'll end it. Right in front of me as the defense counsel. Oh, okay. So that's what he was going for. Why? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Zieks would never put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. Oh, look at him, baby. And Gregson still looks kind of old. That's Lord Van Zieks and Inspector Gregson. In a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And his brother, who is now dead. And who's the third person? Come on, we saw the painting. Did you already forget? It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office. Aww. In Gregson's office, you mean? Yes, what I'm trying to say is if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. Gregson's photograph has been added into the court record. Aww. Treasured memory. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Use your brain for 5 fucking seconds. Show him the picture and remind him what we need to do for justice. Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma? He wants you to be the defense. He just told you. He's setting you up to be the defense. You dumb bastard. God, just don't understand context clues. Hi, I'm back with evidence. Hi. Lord Van Zieks is still reading that letter. It can't have been that long. Like, we've been gone quite some time, though. Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter, or he's just ruminating. I might even be able to read English faster than he can. I can hear you, imbecile. I was intending to ignore you entirely until you... But I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese. I knew it. Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that. It was a jape, a joke, a jest. I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow. Which is none of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. In other words, no. We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided. I'd expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is. It's gonna be Kazuma Asuki. Asagi, I'm fucked. That made the color drain from his face. I really wish they had actually animated that instead of saying it constantly. Well then, I guess I'm going to jail. Seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. You forced my hand. Oh, okay. 10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from Japan. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asagi. Genshin Asagi was Kazuma-sama's father. So what cruel twist of fate is this now, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some sort of kangaroo court? Still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset. But what could he have been hoping to achieve? Let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that? Asagi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you, Nipponese. Right, your hatred of us, Japanese. The Nipponese. Oh, come on! How many times are we gonna get extra dialogue? I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer. The so-called professor, assigned to the investigation as his partner, was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard. And that was Genshin Asagi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous to the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of that man. I'm still feeling like that true nature wasn't there. I think somebody else set him up. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong. Oh, how awful. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asagi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the professor case inquiry. Lord Mel Strongheart. Oh, of course! Man, he set so much crap up! Wait, what? Lord Strongheart? Well, this is 10 years ago. He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the only person to whom I felt indebted. Well, you shouldn't. He seems like he's actually really bad. I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor, or, you know, as a pawn in this long game of chess he's been playing. This man's in it for, like, life. Anyway, time passed. But then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? Oh, and of all things, as a lawyer. Sorry. I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me, I could no longer control it. And I can understand why, now that I know the history. But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Asagi, I am the bane of his, the Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. I don't know if he's a revenge man. So what? Gregson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he? I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean? It's the first time I've ever encountered it. Oh! The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. Sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed. I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard. Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would have never been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago? Why is that so surprising? Wait, did Mikotoba do it? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at that time and was rarely performed. And my brother was, of course, a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined that it was necessary. His powerful convictions somehow influenced the House of Lords as a result. Oh, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So, you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. I don't have confidence in anyone. Oh. And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous reaper, just like the rest of London. Oh, here comes the reveal. What really went on between Lord Van Zeeks and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of the relationship? Top and bottom. It's anybody's guess as to which was which. Your gun. About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Yes. That's not mine. Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is. That's because they're idiots. What do you expect me to say to that? Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm. As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That I don't know. Oh, I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it away somewhere, I suppose, or left it somewhere, perhaps. You have something in common with Lord Van Zeeks after all, Mr. Naruhodo, a talent for misplacing things. No. This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese. Oh dear. The rift is very wide, isn't it? Yeah, thanks. So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Hey, I'd like to present you with some evidence that Gregson thought you were a swell dude. Pa-cha-tow! Lord Van Zeeks, we came by this old photograph. Where did you get that? Oh, from, Kazuma. It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. Is the man on the left there, Yes, that's my brother. Clint. Details, it's so obvious! Why did we have to update it? He only has the one brother! He was in a picture! It has to be, really. Yeah, of course it is. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know? Were you aware of that? Respect? That's nonsense. No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less. Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you. I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, an insight into the true nature of this man, known to all as the stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name. Oh, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna be like, hey, bro, actually, do you think you could do me a solid, man? I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. What's that? That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth. Look, Lord Van Zeeks, does this mean? From the very first time we clashed at the Bailey almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. Whoa! There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asagi. I thought he was gonna say Gregson. Well, Gregson's just inspector. He's not a lawyer or anything. The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way. We think. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me. You mean this photograph? Yes, that photograph. The only one that you showed me. Back when I was able to laugh, I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I was so young and full of ambition and hope and happiness and lot less wine, although I barely drink the wine because I throw it across the room. I look to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me? Yes, I do. I mean, of course I will. Yay! It would be an honor. I knew I'd say that. I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo. Then my life is in your hands. For Lord Van Zeeks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend, Kazuma. To be continued, I'm gonna assume. Oh, no, is there more? Oh, no, it's to be continued. It's trial time, baby. We gotta make our man, Lord Van Zeeks, look cool and also one-up Kazuma because he wants us to. Because he wants to see if our determination is greater than his, probably, most likely. Sounds about right. Save complete. Yeah. Very good. But yeah, it's time to go into trial part 1 and figure out more behind whatever's going on and possibly see those redheaded people because I feel like they had something to do with this, but oh boy. Very good. This is definitely heating up. I have enjoyed this way more than the last couple of cases. Like it didn't feel quite as full of fluff. But yeah, we're definitely getting to the meat of things, and every day Lord Strongheart looks way more suspicious. Just saying.